Bitcoin Middle East North Africa conference just went on in Abu Dhabi. And I haven't been to Abu Dhabi in 7 years, since before COVID. And I really miss it. I like it. It's a great city. Anyway, Saylor gave a speech talking about how what we talk about here, or at least what I've talked about a lot, is his vision for the future with Bitcoin as a major settlement layer for all types of financial instruments, including debt. And what he made a very important talk about something that I mentioned in one of my BRICS videos, is that proper markets, Bitcoin is not a proper market. It's not meant to be a unit to pay people in. It's not meant to be a digital currency in which we transact in it all day long. It's just not set up for that. What it's set up to be is a reserve currency, a foundation for I'll say reserve wealth or value, or something like that. The base layer. In other layers, one of the most important layers is credit. Economies do not work without credit, or they work badly without credit. Oh, I can't wait to see who this is on Twitch. How are you doing, Natty Gill? Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it on Twitch. Enjoy having a new subscriber and a viewer on Twitch. Thanks for joining us. And so if Bitcoin is going to be the settlement layer, it needs to have a number of financial instruments trade on top of it. Just like the US dollar, not all the time do people trade US dollars. They trade corporate debt. They trade shares of companies, which is equities. They trade derivatives of all of those. They trade baskets of them, all this type of stuff. Bitcoin needs that too. And that's why he's amassing all of this Bitcoin, is so he can provide all of these other things. If you want to take your company public and do it in Bitcoin, his company strategy is the one to do it, because they'll issue you your shares in Bitcoin, not in dollars. And then you can trade equities in Bitcoin. In the Bitcoin, you don't even care what the price of the US dollars. That's like saying, if I'm buying shares in Ford in US dollars, and someone says, yeah, but the Canadian dollar is this. I don't care. I'm buying US dollar the Ford US dollar pair. It's essentially what it is. And so he's saying this is going to be the Bitcoin pair. Shares of your company paired with Bitcoin, not with the US dollar. Debt, corporate debt with your company. Corporate debt paired with Bitcoin. Just for those of you in the crypto world, think of it like that. When they talk about Bitcoin as a settlement layer, just think about it as paired with, and you'll get it. You'll get it. Paired with Bitcoin. And so you don't care what the price of the dollar is. You just want to know how much Bitcoin it's worth. Good deal. And then when you have these companies operating in Bitcoin in equity level and in the debt level, then you're able to issue credit to other people. People can place their shares in trust for other people to loan against. You can use that as collateral. You can lend it to other companies so they can lend it out. Do all the same things they do in the regular markets, except paired with Bitcoin. Bitcoin. This is the wrong. I had a whole speech set up for this, but on a different page, different graphic. I'm pointing to something that's not there. And so it blows your mind when he's got this whole plan, basically to essentially come up with the whole Wall Street market. The whole thing, but under his company. Obviously, it can't work all under his company. He needs to set the base, the base for everything, and bring some confidence into it, so other companies can also participate and do the same thing. And you see all these other companies hopping on the Treasury bandwagon, but they're not. They're doing that solely for PR. They're like, wow, Galaxy Digital put more Bitcoin on its balance sheet, or GameStop bought $500 million worth of Bitcoin or something like that. They're just putting it on it so they can have a press release, so their share price go up, so they can sell their shares at a higher price, let it go down, they'll buy it again, and keep making money off the moves on their share price. They don't have a strategy that's trying to change the world or recreate Wall Street's entire system. but paired with Bitcoin. How about that? How about that? And the more I get it, I'm like, the more it's genius. Because it could work. Because it could work. Yeah, let's at least, if I'm gonna have this on here, have the ship flying. It could work. Saylor could pull this off. He could. Imagine who's gonna be the first company. It's probably, I bet you it's a SPAC. I bet you they'll set up a special purpose acquisition company, a shell company that's gone public, and its goal is to merge with other companies that are not SPACs to go public. And then they'll be the first company that's Bitcoin based. And you know what? I bet you it'll be in an investment fund. But its price will be quoted in Bitcoin. Its price will be not valued against the US dollar. And then once it's operating and moving along, it'll issue corporate debt in Bitcoin. Good job, Michael. Good job. And I hope I explained it well. I hope I explained it in which, essentially, when you talk about other currencies as a settlement layer, it's, for you crypto degens, it's just thinking about it being paired with. You know? All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for allowing me to chat about that. I think I might break that one out